Hi lovely humans. So today I thought it would be fun to give you a tour of my entire journal ecosystem. I have a journal for side quests, a journal for random thoughts, a journal dedicated entirely to good news, and what is probably my most prized possession, my memory keeping journal. As you can see, I have quite a few journals, but each one serves a very distinct purpose in my life, and my journals are like tiny treasure chests where I can keep my memories, creativity, ideas, and thoughts in. And if you have an empty journal or two that you're not sure what to do with, then maybe this video can give you some inspiration. So let's dive into it. So I want to start off with my more creative and colorful journals that I keep in this beautiful leather trifold journal. I got this from an Etsy shop called Yourmomskitchn in this beautiful olive green color with a pink elastic band. And for the charms, I just asked the shop owner to choose whatever she felt was whimsical, and I think she nailed it. So first up is my side quest journal. Some of you may recognize this from my last vlog, but I basically include photos that I took that day. I add some stickers and other images that relate to the side quest, and I also like to write a short summary of what I did that day. It's just a really fun way to document my adventures. Next, we have my junk journal, and this one's really fun. I literally just glue on scraps of paper or junk that I have lying around the house, and it's really helped me to let go of perfectionism and just have fun and be creative. This is my brain off journal. I don't really have to think too hard. I'm just cutting, gluing, and pasting whatever I think looks fun. This next journal is a newer addition to my rotation, and that is my good news only journal. So whenever I come across a piece of good news on the internet or that I watched on television, I go ahead and write it in this notebook so that I can look back at all of the good things that have happened. Unfortunately, bad news always dominates the headlines, and that's because our human brains are wired to pay closer attention to threats rather than to positive events. So I try to make a conscious effort to seek out good news, and when I find it, I log it. Also, these 3 notebooks came with my journal when I bought it, but I believe you can also find them on Amazon for pretty cheap. I think they're called craft paper notebooks. And finally, we have my super fun, colorful, kind of personal scrapbook inspired journal. And I'm going to do my best to pronounce it, but this is the A5 softcover Leuchtturm journal in the color pink. And I really love the cover. A lot of these stickers are from various different Etsy shops, and I started this journal at the beginning of January as a way to document my life in 2026. So inside I have my quote for the year, my goals for 2026, a little about me page, and the rest of the pages are dedicated to each month. And in there I just kind of journal about the things I've been loving, the things I've been celebrating, the things I've been doing, and at the end of each month, I like to do a little recap. It's such a colorful and joyful way to preserve memories, and I'm really excited to look back on this once I complete this journal. Already, it's getting pretty thick, and I'm quite impressed with how well this journal is holding up, so I definitely think these journals are worth the money. So those were my more creative and colorful journals, and these next journals that I'm about to show you are a bit more writing heavy. So here is this beautiful black trifold leather journal that I got from another Etsy shop. This is by HandStitchedLeatherT. They're one of my favorite shops, actually. They are from Slovenia, and they never disappoint. Their packaging is so beautiful. They're really great at communicating about delivery times and fees, and I just love the quality of their leather. It's really soft and floppy, which I love. But anyway, I got it in the color black with this blue elastic cord, and the charm I actually got off of Michael's and added myself. I keep 4 journals in this one, so let's start with the top one, which is my reading log journal. This is a softcover moleskin, and the stickers are from various different Etsy shops. If you haven't noticed by now, I'm a huge fan of Etsy. But I started this journal back in December of 2024 as a way to log all of the books that I've read, and I've been really enjoying it. So this is kind of like the setup for my journal. I put the cover of the book, the title, author, genre, the start date, the finish date, page count, whether or not it's my first time reading it, it. Then I like to write my rating. I include a little summary, my favorite quotes, and then I just write my review and thoughts on the book. So yeah. Next is my movie log journal. This is another softcover moleskin. I love watching movies, and every movie that I've ever seen is logged on my Letterboxd account. However, in this journal, I just write about the movies that I have something to say about. So it has a similar layout as my reading journal. I have the movie poster and then title of the movie, the year that it was made, who directed it, who starred in it, the genre, what's it about. And then for my rating, if you've noticed, it's in the same colors as the way you were rated on Letterboxd, which I just thought would be a really fun touch. Then I include the date that I watched it, whether or not it was in theaters, if it's my first time or rewatch, whether I was alone or with someone when I watched it, my favorite quotes, my favorite scenes, and then my review. It's honestly really fun to look back at the books I've read and the movies I watched, so I really like these kind of log journals. Next, we have my Commonplace book, and I use an A5 Stalogy half-year notebook for this. I really love the stickers that I chose for this notebook. I didn't realize at the time when I ordered them that they would be coming from abroad, so they definitely took quite a while to get here, but I think they were worth the wait. So the one with the knight is by Art of Juhei from Sweden, and the swan sticker is by Lewis & Kind in Berlin. My first Commonplace book was actually a softcover moleskin, but for my second one, I wanted to try something different and something with grid paper, and I think I like it much better. It's a lot easier to organize my writing this way, and I think my other problem with my first Commonplace book was how detailed it was. I had an index, I had page numbers, I had subject headings, I had all this other stuff that just made it kind of overwhelming. So now I keep my setup super simple. I just write down whatever it is that I want to write down, and I do some basic color coding, and that's it. I like to write down quotes from my favorite movies and books, song lyrics, poems, interviews, articles, anything that resonates with me or is meaningful to me goes down in my Commonplace book. And I love it because it's like a personal library of knowledge and wisdom that I can carry around with me, and I think everyone should have a Commonplace book. And last in here is my gratitude journal. This is an A5 Midori MD notebook, and the thing that I like the most about these notebooks is that you can draw on them. So that's exactly what I did with this one. I drew this really cute border. I added a really nice quote and some stickers from my Martina Calvi sticker book, and I think it turned out really cute. This is also a newer journal in my rotation, so there's not a ton written in it yet, but already it's become a beautiful gratitude practice, and I'm really enjoying it. Next, we have my pocket-sized leather trifle journal, and this is also by HandStitchedLeatherT. This is actually the first leather journal that I ever purchased, so this is like my baby. I love her. I went with this dark brown color and a dark red elastic cord, and I added the little bead charm myself. Inside, we have my random thoughts journal. I really love the sticker. I think it's so funny. Also, this is another softcover moleskin notebook, and inside I just write down any silly, interesting, oddly specific thought that I have that I want to remember for whatever reason. I like to put the date, the time that I had the thought, and what the thought was. Here's one that I can share. This is from Saturday, April 4th, 2026, 9:15 p.m. I'm very suspicious of people who don't like cats. I really am. Like, how can you not like cats? Anyway, I really like this notebook because it's like a time capsule of my brain. I also have this funny sticker on the back because who hasn't had that thought when they're grocery shopping? Next, we have my quick and dirty YouTube planning journal. This is a moleskin cashier notebook, and whenever I suddenly have an idea for a YouTube video, it goes in here first. I write down concepts for videos in here, title ideas, thumbnail sketches, sometimes shot lists. This is where chaotic first drafts go before I roll them over to my Notion, where I can flesh out the ideas more fully. And I find this journal to be super useful for me so that I can quickly write down ideas before I forget them. Next, we have my Happy Reasons to Be Alive, The Joys of Life, and Noticing the Small Things journal. This is another moleskin cashier notebook, but the cover was really bland. It was just black, so I got a really nice piece of scrapbook paper, cut it down to size, and glued it as the cover. Inside, I also included a song lyric from A Little Life that I thought was quite fitting for this journal. And this journal is basically about me writing down the things that make me happy to be alive. And the last journal in here, which is probably my most prized possession, is my memory keeping journal. In this journal, I like to write down conversations, events, and moments that I want to remember in as much detail as possible. I put down the time and the date, and I write as much as I can about what happened, who was there, what was said, how I felt, just all the little details that maybe I might forget one day. Not gonna lie, if I ever lost this journal, I think I would genuinely cry, because in here are the stories that my parents have shared with me, the conversations I've had with friends, the experiences that I've shared with my husband, just any important moment in my life is written down in here in as much detail as possible so that I won't forget it one day. So this is a very special journal for me. Moving on, we have my Whimsical prompt journal. This is a paper blanks notebook. I really love their notebooks and journals. They're just so magical and colorful, but I mainly use this journal to spark joy and creativity and to help with writer's block. The prompts in here are really lighthearted. For example, list your favorite elements for each season, or if a magical witch was trying to summon you, what 3 things would you need to put in the circle? Just really fun questions to answer. It reminds me when I was in high school and the English teacher would write down a fun prompt on the whiteboard for us to write about in our composition notebooks. I always enjoyed that. Also, I like to include stickers that relate to the prompt or to my answer to the prompt. I just think it makes it even more fun. Next, I have a journal that some of you might remember from my What to Do with Your Empty Notebooks video, and that is this little paper blanks notebook here. I remember asking you guys for suggestions on what to write in here because I hadn't decided yet what to put inside, and a lot of you gave me some great suggestions. In the end, I decided that this would be my poetry collection notebook. I really love reading and reciting poetry, and I thought it would be nice to have a pocket-sized notebook where I can collect all of my favorite poems in. So here's kind of the layout that I use. I like to write down the name of the poem, who wrote it, the year that they were born, and the year they died, if it's available. And I write down the poem, and then in the colored ink, I write down my thoughts and feelings on the poem. So yeah, that's what I use it for now. And last but not least, we have my daily journal. I've been journaling daily for a decade, and this is journal number 12. I write in it every single night before bed. Usually it's about how my day went, but sometimes I write about deeper things that are on my mind. But I love it because it's like a judgment-free zone. I can authentically express myself fully without fear of being judged. So that is my entire journal ecosystem. Yes, it's a lot of journals, but each one has found its purpose in my life, which I love. I think journaling has really helped me pay closer attention to my life, so that's why I really love it. And if you also enjoy journaling, I would love to know what kind of journals that you keep. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I appreciate it. And as always, I appreciate you.